Do-rag wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Y2K 17.12.10. And I have here my trusty Constitution of the United States, and I'm going to read to you the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is what this means to me. We're about to make a United States at that time, and there was a lot of contention with this Constitution. All right, a lot. Now, the states were concerned about their rights. You know, states' rights is also, you have to remember, is a code word for some, racist stuff. Because, a lot of the states' rights people were right-wingers who wanted to protect their feelings that they had a right to enslave others and persecute others. But this states' rights thing, since this creep Trump Putin, traitor birther, has been in, this states' rights thing has taken on a whole new meaning. I mean, look at the thing, the move, the sanctuary cities. It's clear to me, too, that this clown, Trump Putin clown, has no respect for our Constitution. He is an authoritarian psychopath, as I said before. He was put in here by Putin. It is so clear to me that this creep is trying, in cahoots with Russia, to undermine the democracy of our country. So let's get back to this Second Amendment thing. I do not advocate anything illegal. I do not advocate any kind of physical assault on anyone or anybody or anything, nothing like that. The only time I advocate physicality, violence, is if it's to defend myself. Now, and I'm talking about right on the money physical assault that's coming at me at that point. But there is assault going on in this country. We have a creep who is undermining our Constitution. We have a creep in a party who is undermining our Constitution. We have a creep who supports child molesters. Imagine a child molester in the Senate. We have a creep who himself, the Trump and creep, birther creep, who is a sex abuser, a sex assaulter himself. The mud, the fecal matter that these creeps are dragging us through now. And Putin is sitting there laughing because this is one of the stages for his taking over of the United States of America. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. I don't advocate violence, and I want YouTube to know, or anybody watching this who is checking things out, I don't want any of my subscribers to be arrested, to be assaulted. Many times I do suggest that people get out there and do civil disobedience, but I always recommend peaceful, non-violent. That's the key. However, I believe that a well-regulated militia for each state is necessary. Now, we do have right-wing militias. Right-wing, I would call them illegal hate group militias all over the place. And these right-wing militias are prepared, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not trying to give you guys fake news, but I believe that these right-wing militias who, by and large, support Trump are ready to act when this creep decides that he's going to cancel the Constitution. That's right, cancel voting. I mean, already they're doing things to our environment, to our national monuments, where we visit these open lands, these beautiful places, what he's saying and doing to black people. I think it's an outrage that a racist Nazi should open up the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum where horrific abuses of civil rights took place. Oh man, remember Emmett Till? Oh man, I'm like, what is it, Money, Mississippi, where Emmett Till was murdered. So the well-regulated militia. I've never owned a firearm in my life. I plan on buying a shotgun because I'm blind in one eye, and I feel that a shotgun is probably the best, weapon for me. And I want to get at least, if I can get one, fine. If I can get two, fine. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's living on a pension. I work for the city of New York as a school teacher. I am in no way out to start spraying bullets on people any place. But as an American, as a human being, and of course as a Jew, who is also, Jews, people of color, black people have experienced persecution in this world, especially from these self-serving white racists. I believe that it's time for me to acquire legally background checks, everything. I will demand the background check to get ready for a possible coup against our country by this Trump and his GOP. A well-regulated militia. I believe that once, and this is what I would do if there was a law in place in each state for legal, regulated militias. My intention for purchasing a shotgun or two is not only to protect my house and my family, whatever of it there is. I mean, I don't have any children. But it's also to protect our free, open, democratic society. Now, if I was in charge, part of the Constitution would be that people who want to own weapons, firearms specifically, should be required to attend a 2-week training course, where it's like basic training, where you go away for 2 weeks to be trained how to respect and understand this weapon of death that you are now owning. And there's a lot of, I'm sure, retired drill instructors out there who need work. I have a lot of respect for drill instructors. Of course, when I go away for basic training with my weapon for 2 weeks to be part of this militia. I mean, I'm 67, so obviously if they want to do physical stuff, they have to do every level there is. You have to respect the levels. But part of the requirement for my owning these firearms is that I have to go away for 2 weeks. And I am required to join the legal state militia. Required. And once a month, there's a meeting in my area of this militia that I'm required to attend. I absolutely find this racist creep repugnant, his birther crap repugnant. I find his disrespect for my Constitution, our Constitution, disturbing. I find, and I believe he's colluded with one of the worst enemies of our society, Putin. I believe that this creep is trying to, with his, he's trying to take over the FBI. He's trying to take over the Justice Department. He interviews people, prospective attorneys general. This guy, he's calling the FBI like a secret police. He's a secret police. He wants to create his own secret police. He said he came in, he wants to have private security guards. This is a fascist traitor, and his party's enabling him. So the day that he decides to cancel elections, and I believe that he will do that. I firmly believe he'll do something like that, besides making a war. A state militia, a well-regulated state militia. So that's part of what I would have to do if it was up to me, if I was running things. I'd have to do a 2-week basic training to understand the weapon that I'm going to store and perhaps even have to use, a monthly meeting, and having to join a state militia in the event that this creep, this traitor, this scumbag Trump decides to overthrow our government.